holding company or parent company will prepare consolidated financial statement. Whatever the shares purchased by the holding company from subsidiary company, it should be considered as a investment according to the accounting standard 13. All the assets minus liability and whatever the balance we get, that has to be distributed among both the company. Hello my dear students, I am Ajay, faculty Department of Commerce and Management, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru. My dear students, today's session is all about Corporate Accounting 2, BCom 4th Sem, Unit 4, Accounting for Holding Company. Let's go to the meaning of holding company. According to the Accounting Standard 21 issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, a parent or holding company is an enterprise or a company that is controlled wholly or partly by another company, known as the parent company. Holding company is also called as parent company, which holds more number of shares, more than 15% of shares, and also which has more voting rights in the company, in the subsidiary company. Let's go to the next slide. Now, as per the Companies Act 1956, as per the Companies Act 1956, a holding company is a company which has following characteristics: which holds more than 50% of the nominal value of the equity shares of another company. For example, there is a company called A company. Let's assume A company is a holding company and it acquires more number of shares in B company. This is called as subsidiary company. If holding company acquires, or if A company acquires more than 50% of shares, let's assume more than 50% of shares, more than 50% of shares in B company, then A company will become holding company of B company and B company will be called as subsidiary company or minority company. I hope you are understanding. So, if A company has to be called as holding company, it has to acquire more than 50% of shares in the B company or any other company. Next one, which exercise or controls more than 50% of total voting rights of the company. For example, if A company controls more than 50% of voting rights in the B company or subsidiary company, then A company will be called as holding company. Next one, which controls the composition of the board of directors of another company. If A company controls B company's board of directors in any decision, for example, any decision making, the control of the decision making capacity holds by A company, then it is called as holding company. Any decision has to be taken by the B company has to approach the A company or holding company. That's why, because A company is holding company of B company, that is controlling any decision of B company, any decisions of the B company. I hope you are getting my point. Let's go to the next slide. Now, what do you mean by subsidiary company? Now we have understood meaning of holding company. Let's see what is the meaning of subsidiary company. A subsidiary company, the other company which controlled by the holding company, is known as subsidiary company. Already explained you, A company is called as holding company. B company is called as subsidiary company. A company has acquired more than 50% of shares in B company. That's why A company is called as holding company. B company is having very less number of shares. It is not, the B company has not more than 50% of shares. That's why it has become subsidiary of or minority company of A company. So, this B company will be called as subsidiary company. This B company will be called as subsidiary company of A company. So, a subsidiary company is a company that is controlled wholly or partly. So there will be two companies holding A company and B company. When A company acquires more than 50% shares in B company, A company will become majority company, or it is also called as holding company, and B company will become subsidiary of A company or minority company. So wholly means full number, all number of shares purchased by A company, then it is wholly controlled by A company. Partly means what? If it acquires 50% of shares, more than 50% of shares, then it is called as partly controlled by holding company. Partly controlled by holding company. Let's go to the next slide. Now, what are the advantages of consolidated financial statements? What are the advantages of consolidated financial statements? Now, what do you mean by consolidated financial statements? See, holding company acquires subsidiary company. Holding company or parent company has to prepare consolidated financial statement. Who prepares consolidated financial statement? Holding company or parent company will prepare consolidated financial statement. What do you mean by consolidated financial statement? All subsidiaries companies balance sheet or the assets and liability will be merged with the holding or parent company, and all the assets and liability of subsidiary company will be merged together and prepare new balance sheet. Then it is called as consolidated financial statement. So consolidated financial statements will containing a copy of the balance sheet of subsidiary company. So consolidated financial statements will be having all the balance sheet information of subsidiary company, and also a copy of the profit and loss account of the subsidiary company. So consolidated financial statements consist of a copy of profit and loss account of subsidiary company, and also it consisting of a report of the board of directors of the subsidiary company, and also a copy of the auditor's report of the subsidiary company, and also a statement including the extent of the holding company's interest in the subsidiary company at the end of the accounting year of the subsidiary. So what do you mean by that? So the consolidated financial statement will be including all this information in the consolidated financial statement. It is included a copy of profit and loss of subsidiary company. It includes a report of board of directors. It includes a copy of auditor's report, and also it includes information regarding the how much holding the holding company is having on the subsidiary company, or how much control the holding company is having on the subsidiary company. Everything, all information will be there. All information will be included in the consolidated financial statement. What do you mean consolidated? Consolidated means including all the information and preparing a new report, that is called as consolidated financial statement. So consolidated means both holding companies financial statement and all subsidiaries companies financial statements will be consolidated and preparing new financial statement which includes all this type of information. Then it is called as consolidated financial statements. So that these are the advantages. So by preparing consolidated financial statement, we get information regarding the balance sheet of subsidiary company, regarding the profit and loss of subsidiary company, regarding the report, auditor's report of the subsidiary company, and also director's reports of the subsidiary company, and also statement of how much control we are having on the subsidiary company. That information also we can get by consolidated financial statement. I hope you are clear regarding this point. Now, features of Accounting Standard 21 on consolidated financial statement, and what are the importance of Accounting Standard 21 and how it will affect the consolidated financial statements. So, how the Accounting Standard 21 will affect the consolidated financial statements of company. So, Accounting Standard 21 says into effect in respect of accounting period commencing on or after the 2001. So accounting standard 21 says about all the companies which are commenced on or after 11/14/2001 has to prepare consolidated financial statements. Next one, the objectives of accounting standard 21 is to lay down principles and procedures for preparation and presentation of consolidated financial statements. The main objective of the accounting standard 21 is to preparation, and also what are the principle has to be followed while preparing the consolidated financial statements. These are all the information is given by the accounting standard 21. Next one, the consolidated financial statements in addition to its separate financial statement. The holding company or parent company has to prepare consolidated financial statement of all the subsidiary company and also its own separate financial statement. Both the financial statements has to be prepared according to the accounting standard 21. Next one, the reasons for not consolidating a subsidiary should be disclosed in the consolidated financial statement. If in case the parent company didn't want to prepare consolidated financial statement, it has to give reason to the concerned authority why it is not preparing consolidated financial statement, and also what are the measures it can take. So in order to avoid this type of situation in future, everything has to be given, every information has to be given to the concerned authority. Next one, in the consolidated financial statements, such subsidiary should be accounted for as investments in accordance with the accounting standard 13, accounting for investment. So in the consolidated financial statement, such subsidiary, whatever the company, if a holding company acquires the shares in subsidiary company, it should be considered as investment according to the accounting standard 13 of the Indian accounting standards. I hope you are clear. So this point explaining, so if the accounting standard 21 says consolidated financial statement of subsidiary company should be accounted as an investment. It is a investment. Whatever the shares purchased by the holding company from subsidiary company, it should be considered as a investment according to the accounting standard 13. Next one, it is not possible to use uniform accounting policies in preparing the consolidated financial statement. So if for example, if the holding company is not using uniform accounting policies, the reason has to be provided why it is not using the uniform accounting practice, uniform accounting policies in the consolidated financial statements. Next one. Now, what do you mean by minority interest or outsider's interest? It refers to the claim or the interest of minority shareholders on the net assets of the subsidiary company. So, for example, if holding company after acquiring shares in subsidiary company, so the remaining part of the shares or remaining benefits left out in the subsidiary company has to be distributed to subsidiary company shareholders. That is called as minority interest. Minority interest refers to the claims on the minority on outside shareholders in the net asset. That means assets minus liabilities of the subsidiary company. For example, we have holding company here and subsidiary company. Once holding company acquires more number of shares in subsidiary company, let's take 51%. It is more than 50%. 51% is more than 50%. So holding company has acquired more than 51% of the shares from the subsidiary company. Remaining 49% of shares, whatever the company having benefit, whatever it may be reserve, it may be profit or it may be loss, everything everything has to be distributed according to the shares. So whatever the benefits left out after purchase of 51% of shares by holding company has to be distributed to shareholders of subsidiary company, that is called as minority interest. This is called as majority interest. Next one, as the net assets of the subsidiary company is always equal to its share capital, reserve, profit and loss account, etc. See, always assets will be equal to liabilities belonging to the shareholders. The minority interest can also be expressed as the claims of the minority or outside shareholders in the share capital. So, what do you mean by minority interest? It is a claim of minority company. It is a claim of minority company or outsiders' interest in the subsidiary company. Subsidiary companies reserve, profit and loss account, etc. It is a claim of outside shareholders or minority companies shareholders in subsidiary company after the purchasing of more number of shares from holding company of the subsidiary company belonging to its shareholders. Let's go to the next slide. Now, what do you mean by majority interest? I have already explained you. So, whatever the holding company gets, all the benefits, it may be reserve, it may be profit and loss account after acquisition from the subsidiary company, that is called as majority interest. When holding company acquires more number of shares from subsidiary company, so it may acquire more than 51%, remaining 49% remains with subsidiary company. So it may be reserves, it may be profit, or it may be other benefits, or it may be other reserves. Everything should be distributed among both the company. So whatever the holding company will get, it is called as majority interest. Whatever the subsidiary company will get, it will be called as minority interest. Next one, majority interest refers to the claims or the interest of the holding company in the net assets of subsidiary company or in the share capital, reserve, profit or loss, etc. of the subsidiary company. So it will be claims of the majority company in in subsidiary company. It may be profit, or it may be reserve, or it may be capital, any amount claimed by the holding company shareholders in subsidiary company, that is called as majority interest. Next one, the interest of the holding company in the net assets of subsidiary company is called as majority interest. So it may be interest, or it may be benefits what they are expecting from the subsidiary company, that is called as, it is a claim from the majority company, it is called as interest of majority company. Next one, the holding company constitute the majority shareholders of the subsidiary company. As the holding company having more number of shares in subsidiary company, so whatever the profit or reserves distributed among holding company and subsidiary company, that have the more or major part of the capital, major part of the reserve, and also major part of the profit will goes to majority company. That claim is called as majority interest, and minor part or very small amount of reserve profit will be distributed to subsidiary company. That claim is called as claim of subsidiary company or minority interest. You can understand the two aspects: majority interest, minority interest. Holding company will get majority interest, okay, subsidiary company will get minority interest. Why holding company will get majority interest? Because holding company having major number of shares or more number of shares in subsidiary company. That's why any reserve or any profit and loss account, any profit and loss distributed among the shareholders of the subsidiary company automatically will goes to holding company, and whatever the shares remains with the subsidiary company, that part of profit and that part of reserves remains with the subsidiary company, that is called as minority interest. Next one, in the next session we will going to discuss about pre-acquisition period. What do you mean by pre-acquisition period, and what do you mean by post-acquisition period, and also what is the meaning of pre-acquisition reserve and also post-acquisition reserve, and also meaning of pre-acquisition profit and pre-acquisition loss, post-acquisition profit, post-acquisition loss, and also cost of control or goodwill. It is also called as capital reserve. So these are the points we will going to discuss in the next session. My dear students, here I am going to end the session. Again, we'll meet you in next session. Thank you so much.